call to the public. Not seeing anybody? All right, Julie, that brings us to treasurer's monthly reports.
Hello. Just busy with regular everyday things in the office. Today they did tear up the driveway and working on that at a temporary office, which made for an interesting day, getting customers in, having to let them in a different door and whatnot. No big deal, it is what it is. But it just made for an interesting day with the customers. I wanted to thank Dr. Boggs and Tim with helping with just mowing and had to board up one of our foreclosed properties. And so little things that we've having to deal with between the foreclosed properties and a few of the land bank parcels. Just getting them all.
One in Shiawassee you had to board up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 811 Grace.
Yep.
They had lots of issues going on there. So just thanks, Tim, I think you're over there somewhere. Thanks for helping out with that and getting those things taken care of very promptly. Appreciate it. Other than that, summer tax bills go out the 1st of July. You'll all be getting your new bills and the season cycle, vicious cycle starts all over again. That's about all I got, I guess, today.
All right, any questions for Julie? Okay, thank you.
Okay, sure, thank you.
All right, we'll go into our first agenda item. I would look for a motion to approve the 3-year contract extension with Anderson, Tackman and Company, PLC for auditing services.
So moved.
Support.
All right, Dr. Boggs.
Just a couple of comments, and they both tie with this and this document in front of you. So in front of you is our draft audit that they will be presenting to you on Wednesday. So you have it ahead of time, and then you'll get a final bound copy when it's all said and done. But I just want to hit a couple of highlights. So we added an additional $600,000 to our fund balance this year, which takes it up to $2.9 million. When Tracy and myself started, it was about 14%. It is now up to 26%. Our goal was 35%. So we have just a little more to go, but we're on track for getting there. In 2018, we had 6 findings that were repeated twice, so there was 12 findings. And this year, we have absolutely no findings of material weakness, major or any of minor. And they'll be presenting that to you this week, and then we will turn that in once you approve it for the end of month deadline. That being said, I think we've had a great working relationship with Anderson Tackman. Auditors are becoming harder to find because of a lack of them that are out there. They approached us about wanting to continue our relationship, and I think it's a good idea. And this one is $7,000 cheaper than their original bid because Medical Care Facility now does their own.
Win-win.
Sorry, could you give me the number on that fund balance percentage again?
It is 26% currently. It was 14 when Tracy and myself started, and now our goal is 35. So we have 9 more percent to go.
That's 26% of
The budget, so of the general fund budget. You'll see it when they explain it.
that's only 26%, approximately 1/4. That would only be $12 million.
Yeah.
Budgets.
You'll see it in the
Okay.
when we get there.
All right, I'll see it then.
Okay. They outline it on one of the pages. I'll give it to you after the meeting, and you can see how they calculate it.
Okay,
And their calculation is 26%.
very good.
Isn't our budget around 18,000 or not?
18 million.
Or I mean million,
Yep.
sorry.
All right, well, I would like to share just one little thing that I remember about Anderson Tackman. I remember the first day that they came here to do our audit, and they were coming from Escanaba. They were going to be here, I think, by 10. We had a snowstorm. We had numerous county employees that weren't able to make it into work. They showed up before 10 and had donuts all the way from the UP. So, but they have been excellent.
Yeah, it's because they drove in.
I also serve on the library board, Shiawassee District Library, as Bennington township's representative, and they have our former audit firm doing their audit. And our library director, the stress she's been under trying to deal with them has been really tragic. I mean, I think she's been in tears, literally. So I am very happy that we have this company because our experience prior to them was difficult, to say the least. So anybody have anything else on this extension?
I don't.
It's a great move to continue with them. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. That moves to Wednesday. I would look for a motion to approve the change order from RBF for paving in an amount not to exceed $126,500 for the Veterans Center.
So moved. Support.
Yeah. All right, any questions or, Mike, do you have anything?
Just an apology to everyone. It was supposed to be last week. We got moved up. They called and said, hey, we've got a hole. We can get you in this week. RBF said okay, so that's why it's a little early. So I apologize, and we'll work out the parking and issue for everyone when it starts getting put in. So my apologies on that.
The Veterans Board approved the expenditure unanimously, and this is just an additional layer because we want to make sure that it's such a large expenditure is approved by this board.
And you're looking at possibly the 20th of the move-in?
We are moving in the 20th.
Okay. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Oh man, we're moving in.
All right, so we need a parking lot to do that and a driveway. Here.
When do they plan on blacktopping the drive?
I'm hoping this weekend, but don't quote me on that.
Oh.
That way it's gonna not interfere as much as possible with
That's what I
daily
want.
business, so.
Because there's only one drive, so
Yep.
we may have to have it in two drives, one way in, one way out someday.
Maybe.
I mean, that's in the future.
Yeah. All right, anything else? Okay, all those in favor of moving this forward signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. That moves to Wednesday. Brings us to our second call to the public. Seeing no one, we are adjourned. Thank you.
So it's the third paragraph down on page 10.
Time for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, our first call to the public. Hearing none, moving on to Community Development Monthly Reports. Mr. Preston.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Zoning permits, we had 24. Building permits, we had 29. And code enforcement actions, 34. We did receive an additional payment for 2 violations at our level and did not have to be referred to district court. And we've developed plans with each one of those folks to keep going forward and obtain compliance. So we are rolling on that. Of the 29 building permits, 5 were new homes. That's all I have regarding that, unless you have any questions.
Okay. Hearing none. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to agenda items. The first item, and because there's just two of us today, I will move to accept and place on file the annual L 4046 for equalization.
Support.
All right. Comments?
Pete, you wanna explain that?
The L 4046 is a bureaucratic form that calculates everything else that you just have been going through in final equalization in April, and then establishing your 4029 in June. So it's a follow-up report where the equalization director, who is Scott Cunningham, will sign off on that and submit to the state. So all that you folks need to do is essentially move forward on it, and the rest is ready to hit the mail.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, all in favor of moving this on to Wednesday, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right, nays. Motion passed. Next, I move to approve the rehabilitation mortgage discharge for Bada Humphrey of 752 Broadway Avenue, Owasso.
Make the motion.
Support. All right, motion with support. Comments?
This is just another home that's part of that program, that they've reached the end of it, paid it back, now it's time for discharge.
Okay. All right, hearing nothing else, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Motion passed. Next, I move to approve resolution 230604 and the application for the DNR Spark Grant.
I'll make the motion.
All right, I'll support.
So the Parks and Rec Board, several of the members are here, including Larry and the grant writer Ashley, and they prepared a grant application that includes $100 grand of in-kind contributions from the county, which would not be cash value, but would be things like Tim's time, Larry's time, maybe the drain commissioner's time, staff time, because all the reports that have to be done go through Morgan for those, and then Tracy and myself as well. And they are seeking around $700,000 for the grant application, I believe.
The total project cost is $757,000 estimated right now.
Either one of you want to say anything?
No, I think it's a good opportunity for Chi-Town Park, for some kind of connectivity, trails, handicap accessibility, and potentially some playground equipment on the east side of the park. So we're pretty excited about it. We've got a lot of land that got reclaimed after they removed the dam down the low ground there that used to be the backwater. It would be great to have a trail through there. We've already kind of went out on a field trip to check it out. It's a pretty nice property, so we're real excited about the project, and we're very thankful to have the grant writer. You got anything, Mike?
No.
Mike's also on the Parks Board.
Thank you.
Is that just for Chi-Town then?
Yes,
It's not for none of the other parks?
just for Chi-Town.
Oh, you don't take care of none of the other parks then?
Well, the last big grant we did from the Parks Board was for Henderson,
Oh.
and that one's complete now. And we don't want to try to bite off more than we can handle, but all the parks could use a grant like this.
Yeah. I was just,
Let's
what,
look at those in the future. This one right now, they wanted us to do it all as one park, one big project, and not disperse it amongst the others. That was our original idea, was trying to disperse it as much as we could, but they said to get it approved, we need to focus really tightly on one, so that's what we did.
Yeah,
I
we
kinda
agree.
disagree with that. Pine Grove out there is nothing but everything's falling down, the trees are bad and not used, and I can't see spending all the money on one park and letting the other ones
When we
completely go down. That's my opinion, so.
When we scored all of the projects that we had against what this park will fund, this park scored the highest. So that's why we went ahead and chose this project, because we thought like we had the best option for winning the awards. And then if we were able to backfill the park's budget with this large spark, then that frees up other funds that we could, direct towards Pine Grove and other projects. So that was part of the strategy that we had considered, and we felt like Chi-Town had the best chance of winning this grant.
I had a quick question. It says cost of trails from page 1, but I don't have a page 1. Am I just missing it?
Yeah, page one was another tab, it just highlighted, you know, from this spot to this spot, 50 feet, from this spot to this spot, 50 feet, you know, 100. So it was just kind of breaking down how the trails measured out, how we calculated the total.
Okay, so this sheet that I have is everything other than trails.
Yeah, trails
And
is a
then-
line item, and we just didn't attach the detail of how we calculated where the trails were, the feet that it took.
Okay,
So is that like a math, like some sort of math calculation spreadsheet sort of thing?
Yep, exactly, yep.
And this is just the application for the grant, this is not coming out of the county's pocket or anything, it's just applying for the grant from the DNR.
Correct.
Okay. Any other comments, discussion? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Mr. Chair, since we're
Yes.
missing a committee member, I will engage my prerogative to break the tie at this time. I think it's important that the entire board approve or disapprove this, so I will vote aye to move it on.
Okay. Motion passes on to Wednesday. Thank you. All right, moving on to item D, approve the Parks and Recreation Commission bylaws as presented. I'll make the motion to approve the bylaws.
Support.
All right. Any comments, discussion?
Well, the Parks and Rec Committee has been working on bylaws for their advisory board, which is not uncommon. Several of the different boards have these that kind of give large overarching parameters to what they do. It doesn't alleviate any of the control of the Board of Commissioners, because again, all of these boards are advisory. There are two ex officio positions that the board has currently appointed, and it notes them in there, but again, that is up to your discretion of how you wish to move forward with that in the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, Eric and myself met with Larry.
Oh, yeah, it's been reviewed by council, so I'm also recommending passage
Okay.
from a legal perspective.
so what is ex officio?
It's someone who can participate and actually get get notice of meetings and things like that, but they're not a voting member.
I'm an ex officio member of this board, according to your rules. I participate, but I don't vote. The same
Yeah,
thing
okay.
with Larry and Tim.
I think that's a really good way of putting it, participating without voting. So they're there to, help guide the process, because they're the main people from the county side, from the county, that'll be interacting with that, with that board. So that's why they're there.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know what ex officio meant.
Yeah, it just, without office.
And this board can add or subtract ex officio members as we see fit. Obviously, I think we all want Larry and Tim there participating.
Right. But if in the future there's another department, or there's a reshuffling of departments, yes, that can be changed.
Okay. Excellent. With that, all in favor of approving this, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Nays? Motion passed on the Wednesday. That brings us to our final call to the public. Hearing none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.